All right, what's up, guys? So Seth Fowler, he's one of those YouTubers that I watch like anything regarding sneakers. Like if I'm looking at a pair of shoes, it's either him or wear testers, and I always go to them for like if I need to because I just with wear testers today. There's the like the Kyrie like Kybrid 2 or something like that. And I was looking at it, but I was like, I'm need to know about sizing. And so, yeah, anytime when I like need to know about the sizing of a shoe or how does a shoe feel, there's probably like some of these shoes I wouldn't even have bought if I watched their videos first, but I watched their videos afterwards. I'm like, yep, felt that same sort of pain. But anyways, the auto lacing Air Jordan 11 Adapt unboxing and review. Yeah, this was this was a shoe I probably would trade in like half of these shoes for, like except the infrareds, the Concords, maybe the 13s, the Hyper Royal 13s. There might be some shoes because I have the Adapt BB 2.0s, but I would trade in like a good portion of my shoes for these shoes. Man, when I seen that they were coming out, I'm like, are you serious? And I'm like, I could have overall saved my money because I bought the Adapt BB 2.0s just because I wanted me some auto lacing shoes. If I had known that this was coming out, I would have saved my money. But man, that's just messed up. But I'm happy. I'm not jealous. I'm not plotting on how to find Seth Fowler and take these shoes for myself. No, I'm playing, but I really want these shoes. Like if I know there's this reselling store that is like, it's some distance away from my house. But if they ever like have these shoes, I might have to. I'm trading a lot of shoes. I'm gonna have to record a lot of YouTube videos. But man, I want these shoes so bad. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this video. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Seth Fowler. If you guys need to know anything regarding any like form of shoe out there, Seth Fowler, he'll tell you everything that you need to know. But anyways.
What's up, everybody? I'm Seth Fowler, and today I'm unboxing and reviewing the brand new Air Jordan 11 Adapts.
So the box is Jordan brand. Okay. Well, yeah. It's like they fused like an Air Jordan 11 and that's a good idea. I was thinking of like some ideas myself regarding shoes. I was like, one idea I was thinking of was like a Vapor Max Air Jordan 1. It has like a Vapor Max bottom and then a Air Jordan 1 upper. There's just some ideas. I'm saying like Nike or Jordan, hit me up. I can create some shoes. But anyways, that's so dope, man. I don't really care for the colorway. I'm like, I know I will only wear them shoes around the house. Man,
Thanks so much
beautiful.
for tuning in today. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell down below if you haven't yet, and make sure to give me a follow on Instagram and on Twitter at RealSethFowler. But today is a very special day because today I got in a sneaker that I've been waiting for about a week since I ordered it on the Sneakers app, and I wanted to unbox it on
camera. He is it on the Sneakers app? Hold on for a second. Dang it, where's the app? Hold on, just let me on. I highly doubt that it's still on the Sneakers app, but let me just check. Because if it is, it's sold out, bro. Like, as soon as I opened up the app, like, they already knew what I was looking for. Wow. They had, like, the Air Max self-lacing shoes. I don't want that. I don't want the Nike Adapt BB 2.0s. I want the Air Jordan 11 Adapt, like...
camera because I would assume, based on the size of this box and the fact that it's also an Adapt sneaker, that it's got some pretty interesting packaging.
It looks roughly the same size as the Nike Adapt BB 2.0 box. It might look, I don't know, it might be some, nah, it looks like it's roughly the same size. Who knows, it might even be bigger.
To do that, let's take a quick look at the box. So as you can tell, this is a much larger than usual Air Jordan box. In fact, it's larger than I think 2 Air Jordan 11 boxes put next to each other. Obviously, the main color on the box is matte black, and unfortunately, it's got a bunch of scuffs on the top of the box. I guess that was just from shipping. The actual box that it came in was much larger than this box, so I'm sure it bounced around in there a little bit. On the top of the box, you've got a Jumpman logo in metallic silver, and then on the top corner of the box, you've got some metallic text that says Air Jordan Adapt version 1.0.
Oh, so they're gonna make
2020.
more.
So that leads me to believe that either they're just using Adapt 1.0 technology, or this is going to be the first Air Jordan 11 Adapt, and there will be more in the future. Which I think it actually probably means both. On either side of the box, you've got these two stovetop-looking metallic silver circles, which I
So they even have that.
Where to place your shoes on the charging pad. And then on the front side of the box, you've got this iridescent pull circle or pull hole. And then in the bottom corner, you've got the size tag, which says
just like
Air Jordan 11 Adapt US MX JPCA, which I believe indicates what plug this shoe can use. And then the official colorway of the shoe is white multicolor. That's it. That's the official colorway of the shoe. For some reason, I thought it'd be more. I don't know. And then, of course, you can't forget the price tag, which is $500, which seems exorbitant. Man. And I think that it is. Because at this point, we've had Adapt sneakers that were like $250 or $300. So this seems a little bit much. So without further ado, let's pop open the box and see what these shoes look like.
Dang, I guess like it makes sense. It seems like it's cheaper because let's say if you get like, I don't know, because I wouldn't really, so it's like, okay, 200 plus on top of like 300 of what it originally cost. I guess like that would make sense. But I spent $400 on mine. So that's what I'm like, is it cheaper or less than what it should be if you combine like that technology together and stuff? But either way, I'm like, bro, I still want the shoes, man. I don't really care if they're $500. I would pay $500 for those shoes.
Here we go.
Just to have them as house.
On the top of the lid, it actually looks like it has some instructions on how to use the shoe. You've got some sort of QR code, which I assume allows you to download the app. You've got the tighten and loosen buttons, which are actually shown on a pair of Adapt BBs. You'd think that they would have put the Jordans on there, but no big deal. And then you've got the different power levels or the tightness levels, and then you've got the charging pad, which again shows the Adapt BBs. And then inside the box,
I was when I had got the Nike Adapt BB 2.0s. I had like almost every Nike employee like surrounding me because they're all like, "Yo, nobody don't come in here and buy shoes like that. Like, who are you supposed to be? Like, just a cafe worker and a YouTuber at the time, a cafe worker." But yeah, I bought those shoes. I wanted to like wear them so badly outside, but it rained all the time, so I only worn these shoes outside like only twice. That's about it. I've worn them around the house a crap ton of times, like prior before wearing them outside, but. Yeah, the Nike Adapt BB 2.0s, they're comfortable. Like, I just love the Air Jordan 11. The Air Jordan 11 is probably my favorite Jordan of them all. And then I really do love the self-lacing technology. So it's like, I really want these shoes, bro. Like,
so you've got what I'm assuming.
That's a colorway that they should release. Bro, the bread colorway, oh, them shoes will sell out. I know that those shoes would sell out. I know I would never be able to see or get those shoes unless I'm like on like complex sneaker shopping or something. But anyways,
thing is the power cable. Let's see. It's probably USB-C. It probably does not have a wall wart. I'm not 100% sure. It does. Very cool. So you've got your wall wart, your US wall wart right here, and then you've got your USB-C to USB. So this end will go into the charging pad, and this end will go into the wall wart. And that's pretty much all there is inside this first little container. I do have to say that I like the metallic Jordan branding on this box. I think that's a nice touch. And because it's in the top of the box, you get this nice Jordan hit first, which I like. This is also the very first Jordan sneaker that features Adapt technology.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of other Adapt sneakers, but none of them have been Jordans. So this is kind of a
always
special
been Nike
shoe. And of course, they also have to let you know that this is a Jordan Adapt with the Jordan logo and the Adapt logo on this iridescent paper. But let's open up this paper.
That's kind of cool how that paper looks.
The shoe itself. The Air Jordan 11 Adapt in this white multicolor colorway. It definitely has a very Columbia style colorway with some black accents and some orange accents. We'll get more into that later on in the review, but overall not a bad looking sneaker. Here we go, here's the second one. Very nice. And then let's pull out this paper because I would assume that the charging pad is underneath the paper. And it is. There we go. Okay. So
is it like
underneath
the
the paper we have got the charging pad and what looks like the instructions. It's actually interesting that they've got the Jordan logo in that corner right there because it looks like the charging pad and of course the USB cord and also probably the motor inside the shoe are all exactly the same as the standard Nike Adapt shoes. So I'm surprised that they actually created brand new instructions for them and didn't just use the old ones. It's got some sort of crap all over it. I don't know why it's got this sort of a white mess on it. Obviously the design of this charging pad is exactly the same as the standard Nike Adapt charging pad, but because of the way that it's got all this sort of white crap on the top of it, that makes me think that this is maybe it was produced the same time as the original charging pads and they just made a bunch of extra ones and they just threw these in the box. It doesn't have any kind of date on the back, but I would assume that it's an older Qi charger because it looks like it's been stuck under some boxes in a warehouse for years. So I don't know. I guess it's not a big deal.
Probably because it's what every like Nike Adapt or just overall any Adapt like sneaker shoe it's always had that pad. Cause I remember when he did the ones that I have. I think he did the Adapt BB 2.0s, and then he did the other Adapt shoes, and I think he did. I mean, he might have did another one, but it always comes with that pad. So, but that one just looks weird. I need to look at my pad again.
It just doesn't look as nice as you would think a $500 sneaker charger would look. But that seems to be everything inside the box, so let me try them on for a little bit, walk around in them for a little bit, and let you guys know how they are. So, I've been wearing the Air Jordan 11 Adapt for the last couple hours, and overall I'm impressed, but there are definitely some things about it that kind of bother me. But let's just jump into the sneaker and we'll get to all those points as we go through the review. So starting off with the toe and wrapping all the way around the bottom of the upper, you've got this bright white patent leather. Now of course, material wise, this patent leather is the same patent leather used on every other pair of Air Jordan 11s. However, it does seem to be cut ever so slightly differently. The first thing that I noticed is that the cut of the patent leather seems to be slightly lower than more recent Air Jordan 11s. Now I don't think it's as low cut as some of the Air Jordan 11s from the early 2010s, but it's definitely lower than the current ones. Not only that, but it also doesn't have the peaks around the edge of the leather that the newer Air Jordan 11s have. Colorway wise, this shoe is definitely reminiscent of the Air Jordan 11 Legend Blues and Air Jordan 11 Columbias. However, that color blocking is only really the same on the patent leather at the midsole and the outsole. As you move up on the shoe, things change pretty dramatically and make this shoe pretty different from any other.
I don't know, like I knew that the shoes, like they do like slightly look different, but I think that's just because it has like that adapt, like when you do that collaboration, I don't think it's going to look original. I don't think it's going to look like the other ones. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that it's supposed to be like that. Like, you know, it's an Air Jordan 11. It has like that same design as an Air Jordan 11, but it is going to be slightly different just because it's not made like how it usually is. Plus, on top of that, when you look back at like so many other different Jordans and stuff, like there's always going to be some sort of differences with it and things. I even remember watching an Wear Testers videos, and I think he was reviewing the Air Jordan 3s. I think it was those like red cements that came out, or it might have been the black cement. I think it was the red cements, but he was saying how like the red cements that just like what came out like I think the beginning of this year looks different than the like just any overall Jordan 3 that came out like years ago. So yeah, it's going to have its differences. I think that's how it is with like every shoe. Like it's going to be different in its own way. But yeah, it's sometimes like that. And then that's like even a good example. Like if we're going to talk on this shoe, because I had recently picked up the Bread 11s. Originally, because there was this like reselling store in South Center in Washington State, where they had the 2012 Bread 11s, and then they had the 2019s. I overall chose the 2019s because they were bigger, and the ones that the 2012s are smaller. But the Jordan sign on like the back of the shoe here was like backwards. And that was something I didn't really like pay attention to, but I was like, oh, that's just something that they do. They just changed it up some sort of way. It's not going to be original. I think it's just, I don't know. I think it's like that with just every shoe. But anyways, back to the video.
Air Jordan 11 that's released thus far. The first thing that you'll notice is that the entire top half of the upper is covered in this plastic mesh. It's actually the same exact material that you're probably used to on off-white sneakers. The only reason that I would think that Jordan Brand would do this other than for style is that I believe it's trying to keep some of the lacing mechanism safe. However, I don't really know which part because it looks like it's all on the top of the tongue. Underneath this translucent plastic mesh,
it's not like these shoes is waterproof, so that's why I'm like, that's, they could have, I guess they could have left it out, but it could just be a fashion thing.
Nylon strips, which of course are iconic parts of the Air Jordan 11. However, on the Air Jordan 11 Adapt, 3 out of the 6 lace loops on either side of the sneaker don't actually do anything. They're just stitched down to the upper and apparently are just there for aesthetics. The other 3 or 4 actually are connected to the Fit Adapt system and have the lacing wire running through them. Speaking of the Fit Adapt system, that's what makes this Air Jordan 11 Adapt so special. The Fit Adapt system, for those of you that don't know, is the name that Nike gives this shoe's auto lacing system. The way that this system works is that there's actually a motor in the midfoot of the sneaker. When that motor spins, it winds or unwinds a thread that actually comes through over top of the tongue. These thin plasticky wires you can see on the tongue actually run all the way throughout the upper of the shoe into the midsole where the motor is placed. And by pressing this tighten button on the midfoot of the shoe, you can actually spin the motor and that pulls the wires and tightens the shoe.
Like
of course, it's the same thing if you want to loosen the sneaker. It actually unwinds by pressing this minus button.
I like one detail about those shoes. I don't know, like, I can't remember if he mentioned it in the like Nike Adapt BB 2.0's review, but you can change the colors to those lights. So I was like, yeah, I didn't even know that you can do that And I remember I was like changing them to like red, blue, like orange, green, bunch of other different colors. But anyways.
What's really cool about this Fit Adapt system is that you can also control it through an app on your phone.
Yeah.
So that as soon as you put your foot into the sneaker, it automatically sets to your desired setting. Not only that, but through the Adapt app on your phone, you can change the colors of the lights on the side of your sneaker and all sorts of different stuff. And even though this technology is like 3 years old at this point, it's still amazing to me that Nike fit a motor inside the midsole of this shoe, and it's durable enough to be under the foot of an NBA player while they're playing an NBA game. It really is an incredible technology, and while it might not be the most practical, it is still very cool. Something else that blew my mind when I first checked out the Fit Adapt system on the first Nike Adapt sneakers is that this shoe actually charges wirelessly through the bottom of the shoe. Now, one thing that kind of bummed me out about this shoe in particular versus the other Nike Adapt shoes is that in order to actually charge this shoe, you have to put the motor over top of the circle on the charging pad, which means that the shoe isn't actually centered on the charging pad. And I gotta say, the first time that I tried to charge this shoe, like 2 hours ago, I just set the shoes on the charging pad like I usually do in the center where you'd think that they would go, but the shoe didn't charge, and I didn't notice for like 20 minutes. So until I actually slid the shoes forward on the charging pad so that the lights were over top of the charging circle, it didn't start charging. It's a small gripe, but when you spend $500 on a pair of shoes, things like that shouldn't be happening. To be honest, they should be giving you a charging pad for this shoe in particular, but it is what it is. Now, if you've ever tried,
they should make them bigger. I think that's what it is, because even it's like the Nike Adapt BB 2.0s, like those are kind of like big for us. I'm like, yo, stop using them old charger. Did he scuff the shoe? He looked like he scuffed it. Dang, bro. I hope that ain't a scuff. But anyways, yeah, they need to make those pads bigger, bro.
Adapt sneaker or an Adapt sneaker before, you know exactly how the system fits. It's not any different than any of the previous Nike Adapt sneakers. It tightens the same way, it loosens the same way, it still has the same features. There's not really much new about the sneaker technology-wise other than the fact that it's in an Air Jordan 11, which is a slightly higher top shoe. Now, the one thing that kind of scares me about the Air Jordan 11 Adapt in particular is that all the Fit Adapt wires are exposed, which means that if these get caught in anything, they could tear and you could completely destroy the sneaker. A lot of the other Nike Adapt sneakers...
I heard they don't fix them too. There's a friend of mine, she said that, I guess it was a friend or a family member, they got a pair of these shoes and they're just all like, we don't know what to tell you. I don't know. That's what she told me. I don't know for sure if Nike will fix them and stuff. Hopefully they would. But if not, then I'm like, dang, man, that just seemed like that would be really messed up to where you buy this shoe and you can't even fix it if it breaks. So you're just out of a shoe pretty much. I hope that's not what it is with Nike, but if it is, then that's messed up, man.
Have these wires underneath a shroud or some sort of way of protecting them so that doesn't happen, but these shoes just don't. The shoe still functions well though, it tightens to your foot really nicely, and I think that they've covered up as much of the wires as they could without giving the shoe a shroud, which would have honestly ruined the aesthetic. One thing that I really love about the overall concept of this shoe is that the original Air Jordan 11s that Tinker Hatfield sketched didn't actually have laces, and this shoe is officially the 25th anniversary Air Jordan 11, so it's kind of a cool callback that you never would have expected. Now, I don't think his original sketch was for a pair of auto-lacing Air Jordan 11s, I think it was just elastic or something like that, but it is still really cool that Jordan Brand had that callback. Underneath the Fit Adapt system, you've got a black nylon tongue, and in the center of the tongue, you've got this infrared hit with the white Jumpman as well as the Jumpman Jordan text embroidered into it. Moving inside the sneaker, you've got a black sock liner, which is surprisingly soft and I think slightly more well padded than a standard pair of Air Jordan 11s. And then rounding off the inside of the shoe, the insole of the sneaker comes in black with the Jumpman and Adapt logo printed on the heel in white. As far as sizing and fit is concerned, this shoe is interesting because obviously it's an auto-lacing sneaker. Now, what that means is that you obviously cannot remove the laces from your shoe or loosen it any more than it will let you go. And because of that, I would definitely only recommend going true to size or a half size up. This is not a shoe
because they the Nike store that I got them from didn't have a size 10, and they had a 10 and a half. And I tried, the 10 and a half, they fit fine, especially, and it's like if they're too loose, like you very well like can change them through the app or through the shoe itself and just loosen them up to your preferred settings or tighten them up. I don't know why. I like mine's like kind of somewhat like on the tightest feeling. I like when my shoe like it feels, or like my shoe feels insecure. What am I saying, bro? Words. Okay, I like when my foot feels secured inside the shoe. There we go. If I say it slower, I can say it, but if I say it too fast, then I don't know. I'm just not speaking English anymore at that point. But anyways, back to the video.
You want to go smaller in because the fit adapt system will allow the shoe to tighten around your foot even if it's a half size or a whole size too big. If you get a shoe that's too small though, the fit adapt system is kind of useless at this point, and you might even break it by trying to get your foot into the shoe. So my recommendation is going true to size or even a half size up if you feel like the shoe is too narrow for you. Continuing back in the shoe towards the heel, you've got more of that plastic mesh, and underneath that plastic mesh you've got this panel which traditionally
this is a shoe. It's funny because he's talking on like how this shoe is $500 when it's like Gucci and Balenciaga. They're charging you like $800 to like $1,600 for shoes that don't do nothing. They just only have a name across it. Like, this is a shoe I would spend like that type of money on. But other shoes where there's just nothing to it, that's why I'm like, I feel stupid. Like, I'm sorry. There's no disrespect to those brands. Like, you guys is doing your thing, but I just feel stupid when I buy a shoe and I'm like, I spent this much money on a shoe. It doesn't even do anything for me. I'm like, bro, this shoe better be like giving me some like Jesus technology. If I'm spending $1,600 on it, I better be walking like on water. Like, nah, not even forget that. It better be a pool filled with Red Bull, right? A pool filled with Red Bull. And I'm walking on top of it, like, not even walking, I'm sliding across it with my arms extended out. Like, that's what I want to be doing with some $1,600 shoes. But if I'm doing the same thing I could do in some, like, $90 Air Forces, I don't need those shoes. I'm getting me like a crap ton of $90 Air Forces, like rather than spending $1,600 on a Gucci shoe. Like, nah, bro, I'm sorry, but I just can't do that.
Is leather, but I think on this shoe it might be some sort of textile. On the lateral side of the shoe, this panel comes in white and is accented by an infrared embroidered Jumpman. Then moving around to the heel of the shoe, you've got this 23 logo, which is actually 3D and some sort of TPU plastic. And just below that, you've got this very off-white-esque stitching detail. Then moving down on the shoe, you get to this white Air Jordan 11 midsole, which is obviously a little bit thicker than a standard Air Jordan 11 midsole, and that's of course to accommodate the motor in the midsole. On the lateral side of the midfoot, you've got the tighten and loosen buttons, which of course have LEDs underneath them, so when you press them, you get this cool LED color. And then on the medial side of the shoe, instead of having carbon fiber in the midfoot, you have what seems to be just a black plastic panel with some sort of carbon fiber texture.
Yeah.
I don't think it's actually carbon fiber because it's much softer than carbon fiber is, and I would assume that they had to
where the motor is at.
Switch out the carbon fiber for this black plastic because of the motor or the battery or something. Actually, you know what? I bet the reason they switched out the carbon fiber is because it wouldn't allow the shoe to charge, because the charge actually has to go through this material, and I think this black plastic is probably just more conductive than the carbon fiber would be.
That makes sense.
And then finally moving to the bottom of the sneaker, you've got this icy blue outsole accented by these infrared traction pods. The Air Jordan 11 Adapt is a really cool 25th anniversary version of the Air Jordan 11, and it's also the very first Adapt-enabled Air Jordan. It's insanely pricey at $500, and when it launched today on December 30th, it instantly sold out, so resale prices are also climbing as well. Design-wise, when you compare it to a standard pair of Air Jordan 11s, it's definitely chunkier and thicker and a much more bulky shoe, but of course that's a trade-off for having the Fit Adapt system, which I think a lot of people do want. Now personally, although I think the Fit Adapt system is cool and definitely a step towards the future, I don't think it's that necessary. It kind of seems like overkill. I could see some possible applications for this shoe being people who are disabled and can't actually tie shoes for themselves, but other than that, I just don't feel like it's necessary. And I think the main draw for this sneaker in particular is not just the Fit Adapt system, but also the fact that it's a super limited 25th anniversary Air Jordan 11. Also, I wish the first colorway of the Air Jordan 11 Adapt had been a classic.
Are you kidding me? Bro, they're charging $900 for this shoe. Why? Where's the extra $400 coming from? That's what I'm like, man, sometimes resellers, they just kind of annoy me. Bro, is it the 30? Oh, wow, these shoes came out today. Yeah, they came, or no, not today, yesterday. Wow. And nobody told me nothing. Nobody ain't told me not one thing. All right. I see you guys. No, it's cool. I ain't tripping about it. I ain't expect y'all to tell me. You know, it's cool. It's cool. I might have not bought them. I might have just looked at them and seen them sell out. I would have at least liked to see them sell out, but no, it's
colorway
cool.
And not this sort of futuristic take on the Legend Blues. That said, I don't think it's a bad sneaker. I think it's insanely expensive, but if you really want it and you've never had a Fit Adapt shoe before and you want to stunt on your friends with it, fine.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm buying.
That pretty much wraps up the video for today. Now I would love to know your thoughts on the Air Jordan 11 Adapts.
I'm calling up my best friend Ryan because he's a sneakerhead too. And I'm like,
bro, let me know in the comment section down below. But as always,
I'm sitting in his car like with my feet kicked up the whole ride. Like I'm just straight up feet kicked up. I'm just all like, oh man, my feet. Look at my feet and how hurt they are. But I got these nice, comfortable Air Jordan 11 adapts on right now. Like, oh, I'm just gonna show up. That's what I buy my shoes for. I don't like. I guess like I buy them just to support businesses and stuff. But I'm like, nah, man, I'm buying these for myself. I'm buying them to stunt. But anyways,
thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.
Man, I want those shoes so bad. If those shoes was like gifted to me, but in the bread colorway, I probably would cry. I would legit cry my eyes out. Like, I've never cried tears of joy before, but I'm like, it would bring out like a single tear. Shout out to Seth Fowler, man. I'm like, he always be having heat. But anyways, yeah, one day I'm gonna get those shoes. Just wait on it. Just wait on it. Half these shoes might be missing, but at least I have those shoes. But nah, anyways, go show some love and support to Seth Fowler. Make sure you guys support his channel and anything else that he's on as much as you can. Like, subscribe to me also. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.